So, fam, I know I said I was going to talk about my final person before I do this last fun part, which, if you've been watching, if you've hit that subscribe button up there, or you're following me on any of my other socials, which I'll put that information below, then you would know that I said that this week I was going to give a review on Love and Hip Hop Miami. And it just so happens that it fit in perfectly with the theme for the episode today. So, Love and Hip Hop Miami, to be quite honest with you, all the other Love and Hip Hops out there. Human behavior unfiltered, fam. Human behavior unfiltered. Reality TV is a pressure cooker. So these people, they're still living their normal, regular lives, but they're still behind cameras, right? They're behind cameras, like underneath microscopes. Fight or flight or freeze, like I said earlier. In the beginning, I will say, a lot more of it seemed like it was not produced. And then there was a period of time where I was like, what's happening right now? This doesn't even seem like really for real, like for real. I did. There's just a lot that goes into it. Okay, so my review on this last week, because I feel like now we're in more of a stage. I don't know what happened with the last person that's going to be on my list, but I feel like we're in more of a stage now where things are a little bit more real. It don't seem produced. However, I don't know, maybe some of it is, maybe some of it isn't. This last week's episode, there's a lot of things that took place. Some very good things, to be quite honest with you. One of which was Bobby, seeing Bobby in his alter ego Vanity saying that he was able to just live his best life, do things that Bobby would not do ever. It made me think about the human brain and how he was able to fully step into his identity, because he would never do the things, like I said before, that he is doing as Vanity, as Bobby. And I wonder if that is a protection thing. When he is Vanity, he feels unrestrained. He feels protected from judgment because he is a whole completely different other person. He can express anger, hurt, and frustration without having to censor himself internally, which is a very freeing thing. So, Bobby, yes. I just hope that you're doing okay. And I love you because you make me laugh. You really, really do. You really do. So thank you, Bobby, for all it is that you are bringing to Love and Hip Hop Miami. Okay, so Bobby, yes. Let's talk about some other things on there. Here's my key takeaways. Heaven or Gael. Why? We know you like to do what you like to do with multiple different people. Why are you there? I say the same thing about Safari, but he was kind of the star of the show. But like, why are you there, Mona? Is it for the reactions? Michael Blackson, you got yourself that two beautiful. Why do you have two beautiful women and you didn't created two children that are going to be born that close together? Now, I do not understand why your beautiful woman allows for you to have a side chick or chicks with an S, plural, but just don't get attached. I am sorry. My man is not going to go put his wing wang nowhere else. But that's just me. I don't care if he's African. I don't care if this is something that then you need to take yourself back to Africa and go do that over there, because let me just say this. It's just not something that is in my world. Okay? And I'm just going to leave it at that. The man don't need to go back to Africa. And if, she probably lives in the world. You like it. I love it. She vice versa. But emotions, the human brain, eventually somebody is going to get hurt. I'll leave it at that. Joy Trick in the drama with her sister. The boundaries that were set there, oh, those boundaries collapsed. Her sister, I can't really figure it out. She came on the show. I thought she was going to be good. She presented herself as though she was this Christian woman, yada, 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 this and that and the other. I am not a judgmental person. However, when Joy broke it all down, family, and told Trick she was going to see him in court, this time I don't think she was playing. She looked like she was very serious. She turned around, walked away, didn't say nothing. And Trick actually looked like he was a little bit, thinking twice about that fact that he brought her sister into the picture. Control can be masked as concern when people want to have control of a situation. That whole thing with Trick and Joy and her sister and all of that, it's a lot. It's a lot. We're going to stay tuned. Now we're about to talk about a couple more. And family, it's not like I really fully understand the other things that I've talked about, but these ones I really, really, really don't understand. They go in the same category as Mr. Blackson. Let's get into it. And fam, if you watched the last episode of Unapologetically D, which by the way, you're going to have to hit the subscribe button. It's up here. I put it up here. Hit it. Join the Unapologetically D fam, because over here we get down. So yeah, tip up in everybody's business. This part is like, she wasn't like that before. I mean, she kind of was, but not really. So I'm trying to figure out why. Is it produced? I don't know. Or is she really trying to be in people's business because she's genuinely concerned? Like with the next person on my list. Amara and her baby daddy, Alan, they needed to stop like a minute ago. Girl! However, when we talk about the human brain and toxicity and continuing in patterns that are toxic and having to really, really have, the intention to make changes, and also taking into consideration the fact that she has not one, but two beautiful baby girls. I understand, Amara, I get it, girl, because look, I wanted to stay with my son's dad for far too long, and I knew it was not the thing to do. But this girl right here, I still wanted to stay with him. Still wanted to stay with another person that I didn't need to. And so I digress. The reason I have Amara on here is because they're trying to say that her, and especially with all this stuff going on, like for real, reality TV, take that out of the equation in the world today, in the United States of America, and people having to leave from the country. And her baby's daddy getting arrested when he's coming here, and she knew that there was going to be some filming with his wife. Oh yeah, by the way, because Amara, girl, did you have a contract? Were you going to pay him? Was she going to pay him? Was he getting a portion of the proceedings? Because there was another show I was watching. That's a Real Housewives of Potomac. And Stacey, how they be saying her breast stank. They said Stacey was paying TJ. And he was going to sue her because she hadn't given him the money. Now, are these women really paying? Really? For real, are you really paying these men to be your love interest? Please tell me it's not the case. They had a whole 2 children together. That cannot be the case. But has the power shifted? Why did Alan's sister come? Not sister. Why did Alan's wife come on the show now? What's the real reason behind that, Mona? That's who we're going to talk about. That's the last person on my list. But you cannot fake emotional dysregulation. When emotions are not regulated, the brain looks for an outlet. And some people, they yell. Some people, they shut down. No two people are the same. I talked about Love and Hip Hop Miami because that's the one that's on right now. But all of them, you got these people on these reality TV shows, they're just living their lives. But guess what? In the same breath, some of it might be produced, but some of it like, damn, for real? That's really going on? Okay. Okay, for the last little bit, family, I'm going to be looking over to the left because that's where I moved my computer. For my bonus person on this list, Mona Scott Young. Mona happens to be the creator of Love and Hip Hop. So not just Love and Hip Hop Miami, you got New York, Atlanta, LA. Dang, am I missing any? I don't know. There's been quite a few. Core energy from Mona. Cultural architect, strategic observer, controversial power broker. The good, and why I have her on the list. She created a cultural blueprint. Love and Hip Hop reshaped reality TV by centering urban culture, music, relationships, and ambition. Featuring people that were from all different walks of life, whether you're a rapper or a singer or whatever you might be, comedian, any of it. Gave visibility to stories that mainstream media often ignored and turned supporting characters into main brands. So my human interaction lens is that she understands how relationships drive narrative, conflict, loyalty, love, and survival. She built a platform that creates opportunity. Many cast members use the show to launch businesses, revive music careers, yes, scrappy, build long-term visibility. She recognized the power of storytelling as currency. I mean, even some of the people like Trick and Trina that are on Love and Hip Hop Miami that haven't been like in like the being played on the radio or on the radio. I don't even know if the radio is a thing because I'm listening to Spotify, to be honest. YouTube, Spotify, one of those. So I don't even know. But anyways, people that have not been the first person that you might hit play when you're trying to on your playlist, they're not the first person on your list. Those people that are on these shows are giving you a look into their lives where you wouldn't have seen that before. It wasn't something that you were able to see before. So building long-term visibility, Mona, recognized the power of storytelling. Like I said before, if you're just stating facts, people are going to be like, this is boring. Right? Human interaction with that. Access changes lives. The more you allow people into your life, the more they are going to want to interact and the behavior is going to change because you are giving them access. Yeah? So, the controversy. Oh, we got one more that we need to talk about that is the positive part of Miss Mona. Let's get into it. So here's the thing with Mona fam. She reads human behavior extremely well. She would not have had the idea to create the Love and Hip Hop series if she didn't. She knew what people would want to see, what people still want to see. She understands emotional triggers, ego dynamics, and power shifts, and she knows when to let people talk and when to apply pressure. This is what I would call quiet power. Now, the controversial side of Mona, where the questions come, are the environments manipulated at all? Critics argue that the show places people in emotionally volatile situations. I will say this 100%. One thing that I saw on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta in this last season is, I'll talk about it next week. Because it's been a minute since I've seen an individual on a reality show react in the way that I saw this individual react. And there was nothing produced about that. So, is there old trauma resurfacing? That could 100% be something that is the case. High stress environments amplify reactions. Yes, I said that. And the key question is, are people being shown or pushed? Exploiting emotional dysregulation, which I said the definition of that earlier. I will drop that information below or above. Emotional breakdowns often become storylines, which is so unhealthy. The most unregulated moments get the most airtime. Pain equals ratings. And then if you look at the human brain and an angle, you can't fake emotional dysregulation, but you can benefit from it. Oof, that kind of sucks. Accountability versus entertainment. When situations spiral, who protects the people involved? Are they really actually protect? Who benefits from the fallout? And viewers often question where the ethical line is. Even myself, like I said, I'll talk about what I was going to say from the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta series, which is already over. But this is where, you know, people will say, myself included, Mona, is it for ratings? I mean, I know, girlfriend, you're a boss and you've been doing this for a long time, but maybe, I know you don't want to take your foot off of the pressure, but sometimes you can't apply the pressure because real, actual human lives. I mean, even thinking about like Michael Blackson, when I see his woman, she's so hurt right now. She is so hurt, but I feel like they probably have been able to work through it. But damn, African or not, like, that's not okay, bro. It's just not. So as we get to the end of this episode, I will tell you, I mean, I already said I was going to do the review of Love and Hip Hop Miami, and I will do more reviews on Love and Hip Hop Miami and other reality TV shows that I frequently watch. My human interaction takeaway on why Mona fit this episode. Not only is she the creator of Love and Hip Hop, but she represents power behind the scenes, right? She don't need to be in front of the camera. She doesn't lose it in public. She doesn't raise her voice. She creates systems where the platform that she utilizes where human behavior reveals itself. Okay, so here's the thing. Mona's not creating the chaos, but she's a very smart woman. She creates environment. The chaos comes from when people be acting some type of way. And that is all about the human brain, which is what this entire episode has been about. Whether you are positively influencing or you are controversial, Mona connects with the rest of the people that we have talked about in this episode of Unapologetically D. Shaq, Rock, and Rihanna, regulated power. Kanye and Elon, unfiltered or detached power. She, Mona Scott Young, is the architect of pressure. She creates a space where people can be their authentic self, and whatever happens, happens. Honestly. I mean, look at Ja and Kendra. I'm going to talk about some other things. Mona's not reacting. She's watching. So, yeah, you know, it's like the human brain. And I would say, I would like to call all of these different people, we're going to call them pressure profiles. In their own right, they are doing their own thing. Some controversial, some influential in a positive way, whether it be reality or real life. People are drawn to it. The human brain is drawn to it. The people that were crying legitimate tears at the Taylor Swift concerts. The people that will pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a suite at a football game. My pockets ain't that deep, cuz. Like Tyrese said, we ain't hungry no more. That would be the fact. That would be the fact. However, my pockets are not that deep. So, when you think about it, the human brain just has so many things that are still a mystery. But I've talked about some of the facts, and I've talked about some of the people, the power profiles in this pop culture series that we're doing to end out 2025, which, by the way, can you even believe that we are already almost at the end of 2025? It is pretty freaking nuts, right? Yes. So, fam, to end out this episode of Unapologetically D, I would just say this. When you really pay attention and take a moment, step back and think about it, pressure tells you everything that you need to know. It doesn't create behavior, it reveals it. People are still going to act the same way that they're going to act, but when they're under pressure, things change, fam. It will show you who's regulated, who is intentional, who is reactive, and who is still figuring it out. And guess what? There is nothing wrong with any of those things. Everybody is in their own journey. We're going to be figuring it out, right? Pop culture is giving us a front row seat. It's not about the celebrities, though, family. These types of pressure profiles are going to show up in everyday life, at work, in relationships, in your family, in your friendships. Before you judge, observe. Before you react, pause. Take a moment. And before you give your energy away, first of all, protect your energy. But ask yourself what pressure is revealing in them and in you. That's the power of human interaction. That's the power of being aware. And guess what, family? That's about all we're going to talk about today. But I'm going to need for you, before you just hit the end button, you got to subscribe. Join the Unapologetically D family, because we just have things, family. We got things, and more things. And we already know I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm going to say it like it is. We're going to have some amazing guests. We're going to do some fun things. I'm going to give you some deals. I'm going to tell you how to make stuff. And we're just going to be unapologetic as we usher in 2026. So join the family, hit subscribe, hit like, share, follow, love, drop me a heart, drop some comments, all those things, because I appreciate you. And if you do those things, that means that you appreciate me and you are getting something from this. And we can just go on down this journey together. How about that? Let's do it. And with that being said, family, we are out. Girl, you all up in my grill. Yes, I am. Because I wanted to tell you thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me and the Unapologetically D family. I mean, we are just getting started. But again, we have gone from 12 to over 1,000 in the family. And I am so extremely grateful. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And we're just going to keep on growing and sharing and making things happen. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you to enjoy the rest of your evening. And thank you for being a part of the Unapologetically D family with me, your host, ABCD.